What's up, guys? I just bought the IcyBreeze. It's like a cooler slash portable AC unit. So I'm going to do a quick unboxing here to show you what comes in the box. And then we're going to sit in the hot car. I've got a thermometer to show you how hot it's actually going to get in there. And then we're going to throw some ice in there, turn this on. I think it takes some DeWalt batteries. You can buy batteries that come with it, but I've heard online that it can take some 20-volt DeWalt batteries. So we have a couple of those we're going to try in it and see if that will actually work. And then we're going to let this run in a hot car and see how far the temperature goes down, how comfortable we can get, and how well this thing works. And I actually got the IcyBreeze Buddy as well. It came for free whenever you bought any IcyBreeze. There's a couple different versions of them. I got the cheapest version. So we're gonna see how well the cheapest version works. This one came for free. It's like a fan that you put some water and ice in there, and then it's a mister. So the fan will blow and mist will come out of there. We'll test that out as well. So let's open this up real quick, see what's inside the box, and then we'll see how well this thing works. There it is. I got the blue. You can get a couple different colors like gray or black, but I got that nice, like a sky blue with a black lid. When we look inside here, that's what it looks like on the inside. The inside's a decent size for me, for one guy who's traveling around. You can put your drinks in there and food along with the ice, and as long as you have the ice in there, it's going to keep you cool. On top, there's a control panel right here. You can flip this dial and change the fan speed. And then you can plug a remote control in there or plug in the power port. I did not get the remote control. I didn't think I would need it because I'm just going to have this with me in my truck. It's going to be pretty easy to reach. A few other things that it came with here. The wall plug, so you can plug that into a normal wall outlet. And this 12-volt charger, so you can plug this into your car if your car doesn't have an outlet. Luckily, my truck does have an outlet, so I can plug in either of these. So we're going to fill this thing with ice, plug in the battery, see if it works. And then we're going to sit in the hot car. I got the windows down right now. We're going to put the windows up and pay attention to the thermometer and see how hot it gets in there. And then we'll start running it whenever it gets really hot. And then we'll see how far the temperature goes down and how comfortable it gets inside the truck with just the IcyBreeze. After that, we'll test out the Icy Buddy. I just want to get the ice in here before it melts because it is 93 degrees out here right now. It's super hot, super humid, and my ice is melting as we speak. This is a large or big bag of ice, by the way, for reference. And I've heard that if you keep it in a block, it will stay frozen longer. Apparently it will melt pretty quickly being in the IcyBreeze while it's running if you got a lot of warm air going through it. But I don't know if this one's big enough to fit the whole block in there, so we're going to test that out first before we break it up. There you go. It actually fits a whole big bag of ice. I got that from Dollar General, but I'm sure every gas station has about the same size. This one we're going to leave outside against the truck in the sun and just see how much this melts versus that bag in the IcyBreeze, to just compare how fast a regular bag of ice will melt in the sun versus a bag of ice in the IcyBreeze while it's running continuously. So this actually stayed like a big block. This is nice and solid. Some of it melted and fell off, but that's okay. We've got two batteries to test out here. One is the 4 amp per hour, the other one's 2 amp per hour, and we're gonna see which one fits in. If both of them do, that'd be great, because if you run out of battery, it's good to have some extra ones ready to go. Let's try the 4 amp first, the bigger one. Okay, it was running. I had it on automatically, but it needs some water in the unit. It says before operation, pour 2 quarts of water and fill with ice. So we're gonna put some water in here and then we'll start it up again. Looks like the drain was still open. I guess I should have checked that. Good thing I had extra water. All right, let's try this again. It's working. It's a lot quieter now that I got the water in there, so make sure you put water in it. Air's blowing out of here, so the battery definitely works. That's awesome. DeWalt battery, 4 amp per hour, 20 volt, and the 2 amp for emergencies. It works, it fits, turns on. Sweet. All right, let's get this baby in the car and then we'll test this out. Fits in the front seat. I made sure that the drain was plugged so no water's leaking all over my truck. So there's our bag of ice outside right now. It's sitting in the sun, but it's got just a little bit of shade. We'll see how much that melts. You can see it's already running out right now because it is so hot out here. All right, we're gonna put the windows up here. I've got this little thermometer here, and you can already see that it is showing over 100 degrees. I do have water so I can stay hydrated just in case. You can already see me dripping sweat. I'm wondering if this is gonna hit like 120 in the car. Right now it looks like it's about 110 already. No way. And this is out of the sun. This is sitting in the shade. We're gonna let it sit here and get super hot. Okay, so at about 5 minutes in, the camera actually turned off because of a temperature warning. It will not let me use the camera on the phone that I was using to record originally. So I've resorted to my less dependable iPhone camera that doesn't have the best quality. I don't know what else to do because the heat is not allowing that cell phone to work. The thermometer right now, I don't know if this is correct. It's all the way up at the top. Over 120 degrees, probably 130 degrees in here. It's hot. I am soaked. So I think it's been long enough. We've only been in the car about 10 to 15 minutes. I think it's time we turn this thing on and see how well it'll cool down because I am baking in here. This is some dedication for the video. I'm turning that bad boy all the way up, and then you can open this. Blowing some cool air out. Not too loud. I can immediately feel the air circulating in here. Air feels nice and cool, and you can take this tube off as well and aim it. Oh man, that is nice. I just had to turn this onto my face. Look at this. My arms are sweating and everything, but that feels really nice. Just putting that tube on me. So we're gonna give this some time, and we're gonna keep an eye on the thermometer and see how far down it goes. It's already kind of going down, and it hasn't been very long. So that air, I mean, in a small space like this, the air is really getting pushed around by this thing. I think this goes up to like a 20 mile per hour fan in there. So it's pretty powerful, blowing nice and strong, kind of like a regular AC in your car kind of deal. And I'm actually already feeling some relief. Like right now, just sitting here, I don't have this blowing on me right now anymore, and I can already feel it cooling down in here. So we're gonna give this a few minutes. Right now it's reading probably just a little over 111. We'll give it about 5-10 minutes and see how well it cools down in here. But so far, this is looking really good. So it's just been a few minutes, and I held the phone to the air blowing out of here. I just wanted to let it cool down this phone so I could use my good camera again, and it actually worked pretty well. It's feeling nice in here. I like that I can move this around, and if I put it in the right area, it creates like a whirlwind, and the air is coming from here and blowing around, and then I can feel it over here, like, you know, it creates a nice whirlwind to keep it cool all around in this car. And this is a decent sized truck. It's a crew cab, 2019 Ram 1500. So there's a lot of space in here. I was curious if it would be able to cool down this big a space. And so far it's doing a good job. It's been maybe 5 minutes, and it is going strong, blowing air real nice and strong. Feels really nice when you put the air right on your face. I just want to keep it there on my face right now. But it is cooling down in here. And I've got $1 to show you how strong the air is blowing out of there. So you can see that's pretty good. Okay, this has been going for about 20 minutes, and our temperature is down to about 90 degrees. Not too bad. It does feel a little more comfortable in here. It's still warm, but I don't have anything covering this front window, so the heat is still coming in. We are still sitting right in the sun, and this is doing a pretty good job of cooling it down, even though we are still in the sun with nothing to reflect that heat out. We're gonna take a look inside here and see how much the ice has melted in about 20 to 30 minutes. That's actually not too bad. I think I was expecting that. That wasn't too bad at all. The ice is still in there. Obviously, if you're going to be running this in a hot area like this, in a very hot car, or just out in the sun, that ice is going to melt pretty quickly, and you're going to want to have a few bags of ice ready to go in a separate cooler so you can refill that whenever this ice melts. And all you would have to do is pop the drain that's on this side, let some of that water go out, but you're going to want to leave some in there. You need at least 2 quarts in here, and then you'll just add more ice in. Now, typically when I'm traveling in my truck, I am sitting in the back here. If I like stop to rest somewhere or stop to sleep somewhere, I will close those black curtains back there, and I even have some curtains that go on both of these windows, and I have one that separates the front and back of the truck. So when I'm out traveling, I'm going to have this cooler in the back with me, probably, or if I'm sleeping back there, there's not going to be a whole lot of space, but what I can do is I can put this cooler up on here and then have the tube pointing the air back between the curtains, blowing the cold air back there. I think that's going to be the best way for me to do it. I think it will cool down a lot easier when it's dark outside and the sun is not beating down. And honestly, I don't mind the sound of it. I don't know how loud it sounds to you guys right now, but it's kind of loud, but it's not too bad because I usually sleep with like a fan on. A lot of people do. A lot of people like to sleep with a fan on, and I think that would actually be kind of comforting. I'm wondering how long the battery will last in there. I think 5 or 6 hours is what some people have said, but we'll test that out, and I'll have a couple batteries charged up and ready to go anyways. But so far, this is going for about maybe a half an hour. The temperature is looking good. We're sitting at about 90, but it's slowly going down. So I'm going to let this continue running, and then I also brought in the 12-volt cable. We're going to plug that into the truck, and I'm curious to see if this will blow harder with the 12-volt plugged in versus the battery. So that will be our next test. Alright guys, this has been running for about an hour now, and the battery's going strong, so I think it would run for about 3 or 4 hours. And if we look at the thermometer here, it is about at 80 degrees, just over 80 degrees. So that's like a 40-degree difference just from running this for like an hour. It took a little bit to cool it down, took a little while of running it, but leaving this blowing on my face really cooled me down. I mean, I feel so much better after sitting in here, having this pointed at me and running the whole time. I think definitely what I would do if I was sleeping in my truck, which I'm going to be, is I would get everything set up in the back here, and then I would run my AC in my truck for a little bit, and then turn this on and have this tube blowing in the back as like a supplement after I turn off the AC in the truck. And I think that would keep it nice and cool in here, especially at night when the sun is not beating down, because this is fighting the hot temperatures of the sun beating down through my big front windshield here. So if I had something blocking that, I really think it would be nice and comfortable in here. This might be able to get it down to like 60 or 70 degrees, which is very comfortable. I mean, in your house, you keep it about 67 degrees if you like it cold like me. So I think this thing could really cool you down and keep your space cool, like if you're living in your car, or you know, that's what I do when I travel. I sleep in the truck, and it's going to be a lifesaver having this to sleep at night and stay cool, because in the nights, even in the fall time, it still gets hot at night throughout October, which is when I'm usually out there. So personally, I think this is definitely worth it. I think I paid like $400 for this thing, and they usually run sales on this. So if you're looking to buy one, definitely keep an eye out for the sales. I think it is totally worth it, but also definitely think about getting some kind of cover for your front windshield if you're going to be using this in the daytime whenever the sun is still beating down. If I had to rate this out of 10, I would give it like probably a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. It really worked. It did a great job. The battery fits in there. If you already have DeWalt batteries and DeWalt tools, You can plug that in there so you don't have to spend the extra money. I think it's like an extra $100 to get a battery that comes with this specifically. So that will save you money if you already have those batteries. But we're also going to plug it in to the truck with a 12 volt right now, and we're gonna see if this blows any stronger when it's plugged into the truck. Okay, we're gonna do this kind of quick because it is hot in here. As soon as I turn this off, I'm going to feel that heat. So I plug it in right there. We're gonna get the power going in the truck, and then we'll turn this off, unplug the battery, and then right there, the power port, this will plug in. Let's turn it on. Okay, I think it's probably running about the same. It's about the same power, so using the batteries is not a bad thing. I think if you use the batteries, that's going to do the job, and it's not going to sacrifice any power. If anything, I feel like that might even be blowing not as strong. Obviously, if I turn the truck on, there'll be some more power going through there, but right now that is running pretty good. So that is awesome. I love that you can plug a battery into this. That really just completes this whole thing and makes it so user-friendly, especially that we can use DeWalt batteries on there because I already have a bunch of these on hand. All right, that was the review for the IcyBreeze cooler. That is the cheapest version. Obviously, they have bigger versions that are a little more expensive, but this really does the job. I love it. It's gonna be great for camping and for when I'm traveling and filming for YouTube. That is just going to be a lifesaver. So we're gonna go outside and try out the IcyBreeze Buddy now, the handheld fan mister. We'll see how that works out, and that will conclude our video. Now, before we go out there and turn this off, we're gonna open it up and check how much the ice has melted in about an hour and 20 minutes. So it melted pretty good. We still got a big chunk in there. I think it would definitely help to just keep refilling that with ice, but it worked out pretty good. Let's go outside and check on that bag of ice that is sitting on the side of the car. All right, here is that bag of ice. Wow. I mean, it melted pretty good, but there is still a lot of ice in here. So that really does melt some ice, that cooler. I mean, a lot of that ice is melted out of here. You can pop this open. It is still pretty warm in the truck, but the IcyBreeze definitely cooled it down. Let's take another look inside here at how much ice is left. Yeah, a ton of it melted, but it worked. I mean, that is great. And if you just had ice ready to go, you obviously wouldn't be using this. Typically, with the sun beating down, you'd have something covering the window, and this would work a lot better. This is where you just pop that drain and let some of the water drain out, refill it with your ice, and then you can keep this thing blowing and keep some cool air. This is gonna be a lifesaver. All right, let's open up the IcyBreeze Buddy. I think you could maybe even put one of the DeWalt batteries in it, but we're gonna test that out. I'd love if I could put a DeWalt battery in this as well. Step 1, add water. Step 2, turn on. No assembly on either of them, so that's good. It's nice and easy. You just open it up, pop a battery on or plug it in, and then turn it on. So there it is. That's nice. You can turn on the mister. You can control it with this switch and the fan, so you can have the mister off or on versus the fan, or both of them on at the same time. And right here you see this little gray switch. This is where you can put the water in, so you can really easily just refill it while you're using it. If you use the mister and you run out of water, you can pop this open, pull out the plug, and then pour some water in there like from a water bottle. So it's super easy to fill that up. Let's see if one of our DeWalts fits in there. All right, we got a DeWalt battery. That's not gonna fit in there. Oh, that's too bad. It's too big, too wide. But wait a minute, look at this. I just tested this out while I was over there at the car getting the 12 volt ready. The 4 amp per hour actually does fit on here. How awesome is that? So you can use a DeWalt battery. We're gonna turn this on, but first, I'm gonna pop off the cap there, and I have some ice cold water. I filled it up from our IcyBreeze cooler. So you can use the IcyBreeze cooler, and then whenever your ice melts, you can fill up your water bottles and put ice cold water into your IcyBreeze Buddy. So I'm just gonna pour this right in here. Nice and easy to pour it in. I got some water dripping down the bottom there because I wasn't very careful. Probably going to want to put the cap back on. And I'm going to dry this off with my shirt because I really don't want my battery to get covered in water. All right, now we can turn this on and see how well it works. There we go. Wow. Fan is working real well. Feels nice. Blows pretty strong. Now let's try out this mister. I want to see how well this mister works. There we go. Wow. Jeez. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that is really putting out some mist. Ice cold mist. Works really nice and well. That is great. I don't know if you guys can see it while it's spraying there. Hopefully you guys can get a good shot of the mist coming out. But that is working really well. It's going against the wind right now. We got a little bit of wind, so I'm going to turn it around. And that is working pretty well. Blows the mist pretty far, pretty hard, and the fan is working good. That is awesome. So I'd say I'm ready for the hot weather and these events. I got a couple of events coming up so far for this Halloween stuff, and I am ready. I've got a mister. My glasses are getting covered in water right now. You probably wouldn't actually have it that close to you. I could put it like right here, and it's blowing a bunch of mist at me. It's actually cooling me down. I'm standing in the sun right now, and it feels nice having this mist, this ice cold mist blowing at me with that fan. And I can still feel the fan too, even though it's like a good couple feet away from me. For what it is, a misting fan, I mean, you can get these for a couple bucks at the store, like smaller ones, but this one obviously works a lot better. It's blowing pretty hard. The mist is coming out really good. You can fill this up with a lot of water. I mean, that is a big bay for water. So you can put a bunch of bottles of water in there, and then you can also control whether the mist comes out or not. And you can just use it as a regular fan, which I will also probably be doing in the back of my truck. So that is great. I love these. And it was a great deal to get this one for free whenever I bought the IcyBreeze. I believe that deal ended already, but definitely keep your eye out because they do deals pretty often. If I had to rate this, I'd probably give this one like 7 out of 10. I mean, that's a good score for both of these, especially getting both these at the same time for a good price, and they both work very well. I am extremely happy. I think these are going to be a great addition for my traveling tools, and these are going to keep me nice and cool while the weather is still hot. And it is really hot right now. It's probably going to be a very hot year. I'm going to need these things. I hope this helped you make your decision on whether you're going to buy the IcyBreeze. I would say it is definitely worth it. Thank you so much for watching, guys.